Alright, is everybody ready?
Yep. I am set to go.
Alright. Gentlemen, attack aggressively in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You'll need it.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck. You'll need it. Okay, so this is Contra 3, easy, any percent. So there's a little bit of a background on Contra 3. It's the greatest Contra game, just saying. So they're playing on the easy difficulty. There were a lot of differences between the difficulties. The big one is that enemies spawn at different rates. Bullets travel slower on easy. A lot of things have less health on easy. Certain enemies don't spawn in certain stages. Yeah, it just kind of varies by stage. So the basic goal, the weapons that they'll be using for this, they want to try to get double crush. Crush gun is hands down the strongest gun in this game. They really nerfed the spread gun. It's pretty decent, but crush does way more damage. So yeah, on the easy difficulty you can jump over those flames, but you can get the barrier too if you want.
May have noticed I skipped that tank in the beginning.
Yeah, so if you time it perfectly, it's about a wash if you get the tank. If you don't time the shot properly, it's normally faster to skip the tank.
Oh my god, I barely survived the fire skip.
So what happens there is that normally the way that screen scrolling works in this game is that the screen follows you as you move to the right. But what happens is that when the screen stops scrolling for certain things, like that little napalm cutscene, if you're on the right side of the screen and you start to move to the right, the screen will follow you and you can be further to the right of the screen than you normally are, and that lets you skip the fire pillars that you'd otherwise have to wait for.
Nice.
So it's pretty straightforward. The first boss, you really don't have to do a whole lot on easy. You can just kind of stand right up in his face and wipe him out with crush. So the crush missiles they're going to be using, they're just going to try to keep those guns for the rest of the run, pretty much. So one other mechanic I can explain is weapon switching. So what happens is you have basically two arms, one gun in each arm, and what you do is that each crush gun can only have 3 missiles on the screen at once. And so by rapidly switching back and forth, you ensure that by switching back and forth you can have up to 6 missiles on the screen at once, and by rapidly switching you make sure that you've got 6 missiles on the screen at once at any given time. On the overhead stages, what you want to do is you want to walk at a diagonal angle. You move about 25% faster by moving at a diagonal. On easy mode, you pretty much can just fire 3 crush missiles and it's just going to destroy everything. So on the boss here, normally when you fight the boss, what you have to do is you have to destroy the little turret, and then he spins around and that gives you a shot at the core. But at the start of the fight, if you flip around 180 degrees, you can just immediately attack the core and destroy it. So yeah.
It wasn't too bad a level for me.
So it's pretty straightforward. So on easy difficulty, you don't really have to worry about the sniper. On hard, you kind of have to fake them out. And there aren't as many of these mosquito-type spawns. The mosquito-type spawns try to grab you and take you to the top of the screen, and if they get you, then they kill you. The bosses don't have a lot of health on easy, so it's double crush works pretty good. So coming up here is everyone who runs Contra 3, I think, hates this climb. So it's pretty bad.
It's my favorite.
It's it's an auto-scroller. So they got a little bit too aggressive with the animations between like the different layers of like the smoke going across and the individually animated segments of this guy and the missiles. The game lags a lot. There's not really anything you can do to speed it up, unfortunately.
just climb.
So on easy, the different difficulties, the driller phase has different patterns, and based on that, that affects how the fight goes. So on hard, he almost aggressively kind of mirrors your movements and plays mind games. With easy, you can pretty much kill him in one poke, assuming he commits to it all the way.
Yeah, I got a bad kill on that guy. It's like 3 cycles.
I got 2 so.
Yeah, so he's only vulnerable when he kind of sticks all the way out, so it kind of even things out a little bit. So coming up on the climb, the way that the snipers work is, well, they don't shoot fast enough to really threaten you on easy, but they are always locked into your position. This UFO guy here is pretty self-explanatory. You just take him out pretty quick. So there's a little skip that you can do if you're at the very edge of this rotating pole. If you're at the very edge, you can actually skip a platform, but it's pretty much pixel perfect. So
yeah,
it's, really
I tried to go for it, but didn't line up.
But yeah. So coming up on the boss here, the twins are a lot less aggressive on easy, so you can pretty much just kind of stand on the left edge and take them out. Same thing with the boss. If you're just hanging from the top center of the screen, you can just shoot down and take him out really easy. So, probably the most threatening phase of this is actually when you take out the skeleton, the torso part, they actually move really, really fast and really erratically. So they're the most dangerous part of the boss. The boss is a really easy kill. The decapitation effect is awesome.
No, I picked up a spread.
So yeah, the first drop in stage 4 is 50-50 crush or spread. So when you're looking at the bikers here, if they are, you can actually tell there's 2 things they can do. They can either throw bombs or shoot guns. If the biker is just horizontal, he'll throw a bomb, and if he's angled forward, he'll shoot. Either which is particularly threatening on the easy difficulty. So tank here is also not much of a threat at all. You can just stand point blank and take him out.
I have to pray for a crush at the end of this level.
So there's another drop at the end. So Drifter has spread. There's another drop that's either 50-50 spread or crush, so he's hoping he gets crush. So when you're playing on easy, you can actually take out the laser turrets there. You can just blow them up. On hard, they have over 30,000 health, and I'm not joking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So one thing that gave people a little bit of a hard time was this little reaching claw, this little reaching tentacle, but if you stay on the far right side of the screen, you will never die. So, yeah. This little acrobat here is completely random. He's really annoying. He doesn't have too much health, and the soldiers don't move too fast on easy, but yeah, it's completely random. So, on harder difficulties, a lot of people will use a bomb there. So, a lot of people have a hard time with the turret. If you have enough firepower, the weapon switching can take it out before it fires. If you don't, you want to kind of like bait him to shooting and then jump to the right. And the walker is pretty straightforward here.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Spread is actually really terrible for the stage 4 boss, just because you're never really in close enough to be able to do good damage to him with spread. So the jetpack guy's pretty straightforward. So the difference in the difficulty levels is the missiles move actually at different speeds depending on what difficulty you're playing. So on easy they move really slow, so you can actually do like a ton of damage for each cycle there.
This is so bad.
Gotta be careful about the things you pick up off the floor.
Yeah.
So another thing is, it might look like pretty bad that punches down a crush, But the thing is that the boss, you only need one crush to take out the bunkers optimally in Stage 5, and the boss in Stage 5 has really, really low health, and there's early spread and crush drops in Stage 6, so it's actually fine. The other thing that you can do, Punch is starting in the top right, but you can actually do a little death warp, and you can skip a little narrow section there. So Punch took a death there, that's too bad.
Yes, laser. Thank you.
Going for it, so. Yeah, so you can skip that little narrow curve that a lot of people hate, which ruins the deathless run, you know. Just. But you can see like how crazy small the boss health is for Stage 5. It's really nuts. So if you're playing on the harder difficulties in Stage 5 with the shifting sand, you have to do a technique called double tapping to be able to keep up. On the easier difficulties, you can just hold L to counteract the effect of the sand. So Stage 6, it's definitely a lot easier on easy mode. There aren't as many spawns, but they are still random, so you do have to watch out. So it's pretty straightforward. The larva dropping guy is just one crush salvo and he's dead. You don't technically have to take out the mouse just because the homing things don't follow you fast enough, but it's a general good practice. The heart on easy, you can actually just take him out before he even gets fully on screen, so not too big of a deal. The boss from Super C is pretty straightforward. Really, it's just one salvo of crush missiles. The drops fall a little bit slower on easy, but you can still get some rough patterns, so you just hope you don't get anything too crazy. The gargoyle can be taken out if done optimally with 0 cycles, but it's really risky, and if you mess it up you're dead, so it's not really a good time to lose crush. And then on the queen fight, as Punch is doing, you can just shoot up. The ice have so little health that you can pretty much take him out before he really gets a chance to do anything. The boss, the brain fight, is actually only 1 cycle on easy, and you can take him out just fine. Either the red brain orb or the eyeball orb.
Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me.
So yeah, that's a wrap.
Believe it or not, I was trying to shoot the eye orb. That didn't happen.
Jeez.
I got the worst orb you can possibly get.
Yeah, so you do the most damage when you're point blank with Crush, just because you basically want to be hitting them all the time, and when the missiles are traveling through the air, they're not doing damage. So you do the most damage when you're point blank, so that's a wrap.
That's easy mode.
That's easy mode.
Oh, what? My timer wasn't on. Good stuff.